Welcome to the Drive Time Podcast. I'm Parker Brown.
And I'm Alfred Barnes, and we are coming to you live from the internet. We're doing a
We're
virtual
not live.
podcast.
That
Well, it won't.
that's not what.
It'll be pretty close to live because we're going to release this like immediately after recording.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. But yeah, we're doing it virtually because I don't think we should spoil the guest yet, Parker. I don't think we should reveal.
Okay.
We just had our first guest, and we're going to start dropping hints on the socials throughout this week.
This is a big one. This is by far the biggest podcast we've done. This is the biggest guest we've had, but also we got I think the only hint we should give is not from Baltimore. Or DC or New York.
Guy, he lives in the big comedy city across the country, but not Portland. That's good. You got the eyebrow raised down better than I thought you did. You got a little Belushi in you.
No.
Yeah. See, we don't normally have a video element. And the video will be on Spotify too, because you can just put the video on Spotify now, which is cool. So,
really? That's fucking dope.
Yeah. So it's pretty sick. But yeah, so we just had I emailed this individual, and a couple people, one or two people who listen to this know who it is because I called them immediately right after I called Parker, and he didn't pick up, but then he messaged me immediately.
Sorry, I was at the casino winning too much money.
Yeah, so let's talk about your casino day today.
Yeah, so I've been, because I don't have enough vices in my life, I've been getting into.
Parker's back on the diet, by the way, everybody.
I'm back on the diet. I'm in. Well, yeah, let's talk about that first. So I'm going back into keto, which I know is annoying to talk about, but this is the fun part of keto where I'm just get your body into ketosis, because I was telling Al, you could just eat. You eat the worst, the unhealthiest, best tasting foods, and you feel like you just did a juice cleanse. You're like, oh yeah, let me eat beef jerky and cheese and maybe a handful of salad, and I'll be like, I'm fucking killing it, baby. I'm fucking
Life with health and wellness.
My poop's already weird. That means it's working, dude. That's how you know. That's how you know it's happening. But yeah, I'm back on the diet. No drinking, no boozing, no nothing.
He's boring now, guys. He's back to being boring. But good news, the podcast will probably go back to being good for a little bit. So it's like a kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Parker, all you have to do to accomplish all your goals is be incredibly unhappy. Isn't that weird how that works? Isn't that weird how life works like that? I think we've talked about this before, but I do think when I retire, if the Earth is still around then and isn't like a Mad Max wasteland type situation, just all gas, no brakes, just complete degenerate alcoholic, just drunk 24/7. You know what I mean?
Full bender. Yeah, no, and I think that's fun. I think you want to be the grandparent the grandkids aren't allowed to see. You send them a 20 and a card almost on their birthday, and you just coast.
You show up and you get handed a list of topics not to talk about. You know what I mean? You're just
it's
Parker, COVID.
The booker before the show, when they're like, all right, look, there's going to be kids in the audience, so no cups and no blue stuff. For grandpa, it's no red stuff. You're not allowed to touch any of the Republican banter.
But yeah, I've just been gambling a lot. I
love how casual. I've been gambling a lot, doing all right.
But winning though, is it gambling if you win? Every degenerate gambler I've ever met, they go to the casino and they're like, I have a system where I can win money. And it's always wrong because unless you're counting cards, the house always wins. But the one game that you can win is poker or whatever, especially low stakes poker. I'm playing against, people that fucking suck at poker. So it's I'm not gonna say it's easy, and I'm definitely gonna say this and then go on a massive losing streak or whatever, but it's not that hard to beat bad people at poker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, were you at Horseshoe?
No, I fucking hate Horseshoe. For those of people who don't know, the two big casinos in Maryland is there's one called Horseshoe Casino, which is in Baltimore, um, and there's one called Maryland Live Casino, which is like
So much
kind
better.
of, oh my god, it's insane. Like Horseshoe is like you're like you'll be at a blackjack table with like someone who just got released from the psych ward and sold their tramadol for $50, and they're hitting on 18 at blackjack and like yelling at the dealer that they're busting. You know what I mean?
Well,
Whereas
I will
Maryland Live,
say what I
that's
like
right. Go
about
ahead.
Horseshoe is they can't afford to hire the top brass when it comes to dealers. The one time I played blackjack there, the dude kept fucking up, and I lost so
Yeah,
many hands that he gave me money for anyway. And I was like, "This is kind of the best casino, actually."
that's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, dude, there were
Well,
so
dude,
many where he'd like make a mistake and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I screwed up, so you just get to, you get the pot or whatever." Or he'll like, that kind of shit. And I'm like, "Yeah, this rules actually." Like,
one of the crazy things. Well, I want to keep talking about the difference between Maryland Live and Horseshoe, but like one of the craziest things about poker that I didn't realize is like if you play blackjack, there's so many rules about like you can't touch the money if it's like in the thing. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the dealer is generally like pretty good. You go play poker, you're like totally around like you can just say you're betting 30 and like you bet 20 and like no one like you can get it by a lot of the times. Like
yeah,
it's so much more of a loose game. You can put money in and take money. Like you can just grab money out and like make change and shit. It's like insane. People are like exchanging chips with people. It's like such a looser game, and I guess it just has to be that way to get things to run at like any reasonable pace. But just
yeah.
coming from like used to everything being so by the book, you know.
So if you guys are
But
wondering what Parker's gambling system is, it's actually cheat. That's his big.
no,
That's his hack.
it's definitely no. I don't cheat. I but
It's not cheating if you don't get caught.
Exactly. And it's not cheating if you win money too. Um but one of the other things too that's cool about poker is there's what's called a rake, right? So that's how the casino makes money. So if you are like winning a bunch in poker, you're actually giving the casino more of your money. So
How's
if
that?
so like let's say you win $200 in the pot, the casino will take out like $10 of that for themselves, for like the dealers and setting everything up too.
Hmm.
So if you're like a rewards member, you make more money. You get more rewards like the better you do at poker, which I think is like really cool. Whereas blackjack's the opposite. If you win a bunch of blackjack, right, you don't get any rewards because you didn't give the casino any money. Does
Right.
that make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it like incentivizes you to win, which is cool. But dude,
Hell,
the thing I didn't realize, right? Yeah, the horseshoe, like again, not like because it's in Baltimore. Like you don't want to sound, whatever. But like it's just like a depressing place every time
it
I've
is,
gone
dude.
there.
And Guy Fieri's restaurant fucking sucks in it. It's so bad. I went there one time and the woman didn't bring me my food. She brought all my friends their food and didn't bring me anything. And I was like, "What's the deal?" She's like, "It's coming." And then she brought everybody else's check and she got upset that I didn't leave a tip. I was like, "Hey, you didn't do the only thing you need to do for you to get a tip." Like,
That's one of the only times like I'd be like, yeah, don't tip. You'd have to fuck up pretty bad. But one of the things is like, yeah, you didn't serve me at all. Like I'm not
yeah,
gonna tip you or whatever.
that's the only time I've tipped like nothing. And I was like, "Well, like you didn't do anything, so I don't feel like I should tip
Yeah,
you." Like, uh but yeah, let's talk about also, you guys. Also, this is going to be a shorter podcast. Like I said, we just did an hour and 40-minute one, so we want you all sitting in suspense with bated breath, waiting for next week's gem of a fucking episode. If you're around me and Parker's age or a little bit older, this episode is going to be huge for you. So this episode is
It's
more so a teaser and a courtesy than
yeah.
anything else. But no, I want to talk about your dinner party because the spread was immaculate. You know, you nailed it. You almost killed another comedian's girlfriend, but we don't have to get to it.
We can get into that if we want. I don't care.
Go off, King. Why don't you start
They
us off?
deserve. Listen, if you're allergic to something, okay, you deserve to die. No. I'm
I almost died off
thankfully,
Benadryl the other day, dude. I hear it.
dude. I, you should do that. You should be like the Little Wayne of the Baltimore comedy scene, where you just have like two styrofoam cups, and it's just half
What's
Jack
in the
Daniel's honey and half Benadryl. Half
dude?
Benadryl
No.
in there.
So Parker knows this, but we haven't talked about it on the podcast. I went to a wedding, and my allergies were killing me all day, but I didn't want to skip out on this wedding, and it was like bad. Like I couldn't see very good. Like my nose was just running.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. So I took like 3 Benadryl, which is actually 2 more than the box says to take. But I was like, if I take more, my allergies will be more gone, which is not true, but it's something that I convince myself with pretty much any medication I take. I'm like, if I just take more, it will be better. But so then I get to the wedding. I have like 3, maybe 2 or 3 drinks, and I am like gone. Like I can't see, like I'm staring off. I have like that like boomer kind of like got exposed to lead 1,000-yard stare. I'm like just staring off into the distance. People can see that I'm doing that now. That's kind of sick with the video. But
Yeah.
yeah, and Jackie was getting so pissed. She's like, "We should leave," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm having fun." She's like, "No, you're not. You look horrible. You're having a bad time. You've got a pocket full of paper towels because your nose is still running." Like,
No,
but
I just
if you
imagine
guys want to get fucked up for cheap, a
Jackie's
Benadryl and
like
whiskey.
Jack, like that's how it went in your mind, but in like from Jackie's perspective, she was like, "We should leave." No, I'm having fun, and like you're just time traveling, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Dude,
Uh,
so what I did is like we were like I was really crashing, like I was just not doing well, and I was like I need to sweat it off. So I was just like doing the worm on the dance floor, fighting for my fucking life. The DJ was also making crazy choices. He would do the instrumental to like Party Up by DMX, but then he would put like Country Roads vocals over top of it. I was like, "What the fuck are you dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was just sitting there. I was like, "See, you play a song that the instrumental from a song that has the N word, but then over top of it, you play a song for people who say the N word at their house.
well,
Like it's
I was hoping like that, like he'd crossfade the N word like
yeah,
back into
country.
what
What?
take me dogs at no
But yeah, dude, like every other song, it was like, oh hell yeah, he's playing, fucking Get Low, and then it'd be like, where did he come from? Where did he go? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Stop. He also was like this like 5 foot nothing. What? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but white dude who looked like he sold like grills out of his trunk. Like he was like, yo motherfuckers, like the whole time it sounded like he was doing like a Cat Williams or something. He's like, we about to get loosey goosey up in this motherfucker.
well, let's
like,
just say I know who's our second guest on the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, like giant like Brett Michaels sunglasses on. Like, dude, it was fucking. The dude was a fever dream. I'm kind of bummed he wasn't at my wedding, but it was crazy.
Here's one thing I just thought of, right? Allergies are your body attacking itself, right?
Right.
Is there any emo band that has a song about allergies? Doesn't that sound like the most emo thing
Yeah.
you can have? Like,
I can't go outside.
my body attacks itself. Yeah, that's like a perfect 16-year-old white girl problem to have too. Like
my allergies, they got me down. Can't go outside without checking the pollen count.
Bangers, dude. Bangers, bangers. Yeah. And just I want to kill myself, and so does my body. Something like that. Hold on. I was gonna ask you about something. Okay. Hour and 40-minute podcast, dude. It's the juices are running a little low. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, well, one other thing too before we move on from the casino thing. Did you know this? So if you go to Maryland Live Casino, it is like no joke, like 75% Asian people there. Like I did not know.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a ton of them there, and a lot of old people and Asian people.
A lot of people in poker are old. Like I'm probably
Although
one of the youngest people there.
you have to consider, Parker, you were there at like 3 in the afternoon on a Monday, which I feel like could affect the demographic.
Oh yeah, totally, totally.
She actually has one slot machine there. Every time she plays it, she like wins $100. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Yeah, she won't let me stand near because she says I'm bad luck. She's like, get the fuck
Well,
out of
I got like a rewards bonus or whatever, and it was like you get $10 on a slot machine, and I don't know what any of the fucking numbers mean. So I sit down and I do one spin, and it's like fails. It's like you have 12 cents left. I'm like,
here.
that was a $10 spin on the
Jesus.
slot machine. How do people sit in front of these things for fucking hours at a time? You know what I mean?
That's what, my dad said he
Uh,
went to like this when he was younger. He went to a bachelor party in Atlantic City. I got like bugs in this room because I got the fucking window open. But he went to a bachelor party in Atlantic City, and like the bus company gave him a $5 voucher, and he like hit like the jackpot on the slot machine like the first spin, and then he was just playing
Insane.
all he was playing all day off that. Like just I don't know how much he
That's
actually left
awesome.
with, but he's like, yeah, I played for like 9 hours straight off of a five
That's
dollar
crazy.
voucher. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my dad's stories he always tells is him and my uncle were in Las Vegas or whatever, and they're like my dad does not like get drunk very often too. Like, but I think
So
this
you
is
got it
one of
from
the
your mom.
well, she has like one Miller Lite she's done. I'm like, you're no family of mine,
Yeah,
okay?
I know, I know. So what does she do after breakfast? Like,
But like they're in Las Vegas and they had both had like four martinis, which is like you know, I if I had like I've had three martinis before, and I mean you're just like bombed out of your fucking mind.
yeah, it's something about a
Like
martini, dude. It's like
it's
the
crazy.
sneaky, it's like a sneaky version of the Long Island. Like,
That's why I don't believe like people like alcohol is the same no matter it's just about it's like no dude no
no,
no 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 but
you know who says that?
like
Amateurs.
yeah it that's the thing is that all these scientists and shit they're nerds dude they don't know how to fucking
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
Oh,
Why are nerds studying alcohol? They need some cool.
exactly
They need
they
to
need
do some open mic comics. Need to be doing this research.
they
We're
need
all the
alcohol they need
best with
real
any
alcoholics.
substance. Like
Yeah.
the best potheads are comics. The best alcoholics are comics. The best heroin addicts are either musicians or comics. But like for the most part, you know,
No, the best alcoholics are British. There's a difference. British
mm,
people are way better at alcoholism than Americans.
it's because they
But
drink pints.
they drink punch, dude. They're fucking insane. They but my dad and his brother were at like a casino in Vegas or whatever, drunk, and they sit down to play, and my dad plays like $200 and like loses, and I think my uncle's up like $100 or something like that, and like my dad's like, okay, I'm gonna turn in for the night or whatever, and my uncle's like, yeah, I might stick around for like another hand or two. I'll meet you at the like I think they're staying in the same hotel room or whatever. And yeah, my dad goes to sleep and he wakes up and like my uncle isn't in the room or whatever, and he's like, what the fuck? And I think this was like before cell phones or whatever. And so he's like going down to like the front desk or whatever, and he sees my uncle like still at the blackjack table, and he's up like 13 grand or something like
Jesus.
that, and he's just been playing all night, just been winning his ass off. You know what I mean?
So have you
Yeah.
considered maybe your uncle is your real dad?
Don't
Oh
talk about my fucking family, okay? Just
yeah,
one
too far,
thing.
too far, too far,
No,
too far.
we can talk about 9/11 all you
Yeah,
want. We can talk about Israel Palestine all you want.
rattle off our favorite slurs. Just
It,
in
we don't
order.
want to be here all night, Al.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Yeah, no. No, do you? I do think like the one thing I've noticed is like especially playing poker is like there a lot of these people are just idiots. You know what I
yeah,
mean? This one guy, he sits down and I'm up like pretty much the whole time too. So I like have a bunch of chips in front of me and like part of poker is like trying to figure out who's good and who's bad so you can because you just want to take all the bad people's money, and you don't
Yeah.
want to play with the good people because they'll take all your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this guy, like, I'm not even kidding you, like, loses $200, $400, $1,000, 1,600 bucks. He's just going through his whole fucking life savings or whatever. And then he wins like 2 hands in a row, and he starts being like, "Yup, that's how you play the game. You gotta." He's
You
like
lull them
starts,
into a false sense of security.
and he's like starts like giving people advice and stuff. He's like, "You should have bet there," and like this guy is probably won back like $50 out of like the 1,600 he lost or whatever. And it's just hilarious, like how fucking stupid a lot of these people are.
Yeah.
Uh,
God. No, that's how I am at poker. I'm like, well, I'm not going to lose 3 hands in a row. Statistically, it's unlikely. Like,
dude. Also, it's just like I played like a local game with like I've been like studying, I've been like reading books and like playing
oh yeah, let's
online and
talk about
stuff.
that. Let's talk about the book, not to derail what you
Oh
were
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mark mentioned
So
this to me before we recorded our celebrity episode. So,
so there's this book called Super System by this guy Doyle Brunson, who's this like fucking I forget if he's dead or not, but he's like super old now, and he was considered for a long time to be like the best poker player of all time. And he wrote this book called Super System, which is like, if you ask almost any person, it's not the best for like the modern game, but it's considered like the best book ever written about poker ever. And so I start reading it, and like in the first chapter, and it's talking about like, yeah, you shouldn't drink when you play, like kind of practical advice, not really getting into strategy yet. And then in the first chapter, it gets to a part called superstitions. uh and yeah, just right off the bat, it's like, ESP, is it a real thing? Yes, it is, and you should use it when you play poker. And like, it's just like, and he has this line in it. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like, if a radio can send a signal over a mile, you don't think the human brain can send a signal 10 feet? And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
I just did a quick Google. There is a sequel to the book, Super
Really?
System 2. Uh,
Well, that's funny because like at the start of the book, it's like, this is the only poker book you'll ever need, and then it's like the next one is like, that was a lie. This is the only poker book you'll ever need. But yeah, the super system, the superstition part starts off with, yeah, like, you should psychics. They're right. They're real, and you should use them to win at poker. I'm like, all right, dude. What next? Are you gonna say that like ghosts can tell you what the other people's cards
yeah.
are? But then,
Yeah,
uh,
guys, I'm thinking about going to the casino tonight. You guys want to come? Yeah, let me get my Ouija board real quick.
yeah, yeah. Let me get my sage. I want to clear the spirits. Let me get my salt.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
I do
so
a salt circle around my chair before I play. Like just in there.
yeah, you're just in a hand. You're like, I'm getting a name, Martha, Mark, Marvin. I had a brother named Marvin. All right, I fold. No, but yeah. So it's like ESP. It's real, and then the next section is, some people will tell you that you shouldn't play with women. I agree. It's just like so sexist. It's hilarious. It's just like, yeah, women have no place in the poker table. You know what
Notice
table they should be at?
it's not
The
Doyle Brunson Super System for Gender Equality. Like,
the only table a woman should be at is the dining room table when she's making your fucking dinner. It's like, yeah, people just to this day are like, this is the best book on poker
wow.
ever written. Yeah.
Also, honey, quit your fucking job because I'm winning poker and you're going to be a traditional wife. Like,
Also, if you go on like Poker Stars, um, which is like one of the big websites, they post like a lot of clips on YouTube or whatever. Um, the like one of the most watched. I'm pretty sure it's the most watched clip. Is just there's this woman that just is obviously like an incredibly good poker player. She's playing
Yeah.
in like the World Series of Poker final table or whatever. Um, but it's just a fail compilation of her bluffing people and it not work. It not working. And it's like really, like guys, like this is what you want to watch. But yeah, yeah, just every like I'm probably underselling it a little bit, but just
Yeah.
every article or book you read about poker is like you have to be super smart, super cunning. You have to control your emotions. Poker is the hardest thing ever. And then you go to the table and people are just like all in with like deuces, and you're like,
It's about
this
balls.
it's about, yeah, this is the hardest game ever, and you're just taking like the social security check from a grandma, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously like I'm playing the lowest stakes easiest poker game
Yeah.
to play, but like that part's just funny to me.
Yeah, I'll do like the $10 or $15 like blackjack table, and like I'll lose
Yeah.
one hand, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, my wife's gonna kill me!" Like dude, like immediately, I'm like, "Fuck!" I can't stand losing money, but I like the idea of gambling, but I don't like my usual outcome. Although last time I was at Horseshoe, up 100
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
on like a $10
Well,
table too, so that was cool.
it is just also incredibly expensive. Like
Yeah.
the amount of money to play, yeah, even like, dude, good luck finding $10 blackjack. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
most of
you
the
have
time
to
it's
go like early in the morning.
$25. So
Yeah.
one what like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had won like yeah, I was up like 150 from poker, and I was like, you know what, Parker, you're feeling a little lucky. Let's just go play blackjack. And I put down $100, and I literally was at the table for like maybe 5 minutes before I'd lost
Yeah.
all my money. And I'm like, okay, let's never do that. Let's
Yeah.
never do that again. You know what I mean? But
So do you play
yeah,
like Texas Hold'em when you play regular
yeah.
poker?
I think that's the only game they have there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I don't think they do like 5 card draw or anything at
Yeah,
casino.
that's the other. That's the other thing from the Super System book is it has like like the rest of the 13 chapters are each about a different game of poker. Like there's one chapter about
You really only
Texas
need like one
Hold'em,
chapter. Like
and but then it's like the next chapter is like how to play Omaha Corkscrew, and it's like no one,
gin rummy.
yeah, what the fuck? No one plays these fucking games anymore.
I do
I
like if
don't know.
there's a chapter he's like how to play bones in the hood. Like step 1, roll up with your strap so they know you ain't playing. Like
Use your ESP to figure out what numbers are going to show up on the dice. You know.
yeah, yeah.
No, that
But
I think we talked about this too. Craps. Like, I think you said you played craps a couple times, maybe or
I
no? Am
don't
I gonna?
understand the rules. I'm not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call myself a
I
player.
I just am so afraid I'm gonna like mess something up there. Like roulette, like yeah, you just put money on a number, okay. But craps, it's like, oh, you got a 7 before 6. You just lost everyone at the table. Set $100. You know,
Oh,
it's
dude,
like
even yeah, but that's like they do that shit even with blackjack. Like I have people yell at me. They're like, "No, you shouldn't have split that hand. You got to play for the table." I'm like, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, what do
yeah,
you
there's
mean
people.
play for the table? Shut up. I'm here for me to win money. I don't care about you. Like, I guess I'm too selfish to play to
Well, it's
gamble.
like you're also not counting cards, dude.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude, they were so mad,
Can't.
and I lost the hand too. I was like, yeah, no, we all lost. So how about that? You know, like,
I I think that might be a good side business for us is if we set up a little underground casino.
yeah,
You know, uh, Soprano style.
yeah, but
I think
just
that
like
could be
make up a
cool.
bunch of house rules. Be like, well, so you got blackjack, but one was a diamond, so we actually got blackjack. Is the rule here? It
No,
says it on the
it's
door.
it's just like a bunch of beer pong rules. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you got blackjack. You have to run a naked mile. Yeah.
Since you're a girl, you have to play with the hand behind your back. But guys, dudes
Guys
have to
have to
take
play
their shirts off.
left-handed.
Actually, like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. What do you think? Would you play? Were you ever big into beer pong?
Yeah, so kind of a sad segue for beer pong, or not sad so much as pathetic. Like when I was in high school, we would play beer pong, but we would play at my parents' house, so we
In
would just like,
high school, before it
yep,
was legal to drink.
we would have like water and soda in the cup and shit, and then like we would just like sneak,
Oh
shit on the
my
side. Putting beer in
god!
the cup, putting beer in the cups is gross though. Like
Uh,
the ball's
I don't
rolling
think we
under
can
a
be
couch.
friends anymore. Everyone trying to play water cup now, and no one actually takes any of the drinks. It's like,
That's
uh,
true, but
I I I think you should, like, people are like, it's gross, and I'm like,
yeah,
so
that's why you
is
win.
drinking,
Yeah.
Genesee ice.
Yeah.
Like like the ping pong ball probably makes it taste better. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Genesee ice comes out of the can not sterile. Like it's not safe.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's the ping pong ball actually neutralizes it with the microplastics. But
Yeah.
no, we played like with soda one time, and before we started drinking, my friend like drank a couple soda. God, this is such a homeschool story. But he like drank a cup of soda, and then he threw the soda up. I was like, bro, we haven't started drinking. This was just the cover until my parents went to sleep, and then we were gonna start playing with alcohol. Like you threw up before we started. Like
I mean, yeah, I think you have to kill that guy. I
yeah, yeah.
think you can't be friends with him anymore,
I know
dude.
he did that. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I played so much beer pong. I was never good at it though. I like just always sucked. Like I played it a lot and then yeah, just never
Mm.
got good.
I
That's
was
it.
I was
Like,
always better at flip cup. I was pretty good at flip cup.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
I flipped
first
the
try
shit out of
flip
that cup.
cup.
Yeah.
Uh we used to make people play Ride the Bus too. I don't know. Did you ever play that? It's like the card
Yeah.
game where you can end up having to drink for like 32 seconds straight, which is just an insane amount of time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's that thing where you're like, I'm totally drinking, but you're not like really letting anything go. You're like, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
you're just holding it up to your mouth.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
played that one time and they were like, I don't even remember how the game goes, but the person was saying the rules. They're like, that means you drink. And I was like, why? How? Like, what are you talking about? There's 800 things. I don't understand this.
It has anyone made this observation before? In high school, everyone tries to get you to drink, and then when you're our age, everyone's like, "Please stop drinking. You need like
I I think that maybe you're at a good point in your life where you're making that observation, Parker, and I think maybe we should explore that farther.
you're just at the brewery. You're like, let's play Ride the Bus. You're like, Parker, give us your car keys. You're
I
like,
was actually just
play.
talking about
I'll play
drinking
you for
games.
him.
I was talking about drinking games with my buddy yesterday, and he's like, "Dude, they're cool on paper, but like a lot of the time, like when you play like Kings, you're like, oh my god, this game's been going on for fucking ever." The
Well,
last time I
also
played,
just half the people are just like, I'm not drinking. It's like, they don't play the fucking
yeah,
game.
yeah, they're
And
like, I'll just
there's
play
always
with
one person.
water. It's like, okay, then it's not a drinking game. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
drinking game, and us watching you toy with sobriety. But last time I played Kings, we got all 52 cards in the tab. I've never gotten that to happen before. It's crazy.
Insane. That's
Yeah.
great.
But oh, dude, I saw this video the other day. I might have sent it to you. No, I'm pretty sure I sent it. This was a while ago, but I sent it to you. It's a guy who's like, so here's how I would talk to somebody at a party if I was, sober curious. I'm like, sober curious, don't do that. Don't
What
say
the
you're
fuck does that
sober
mean?
curious.
What does sober curious mean?
Like
What
you're
what
like
does that mean?
toying with the idea of being sober. So you're like, he's gonna go to a party and he's like, here's what I would say. It's like, I'm sober curious. I'm gonna try not drinking tonight and I need you to support me. I would say, please leave. I'd say kindly leave this event because you're not fun. If you're like, hey, I'm not drinking, that's one thing. But if you use the phrase sober curious to me, we're not friends anymore. That's how it is. Like,
I'm starting to think the Black Plague was a good thing in
yeah,
Europe
no, I
with
think it would have sorted out a lot
people.
of people who come up with phrases like sober curious. Also, like curiosity is just curiosity. You don't have to say
Right.
like bi curious, sure, but like you don't have to make a curious everything. I'm sober curious. I'm actually vegan curious. I'm thinking about not
Yeah,
eating
I'm
meat,
thinking about not eating meat, but
but
I'm
I'm
still
also
gonna
going to get a
eat.
McGriddle when I'm hungover tomorrow. So, but I'm vegan curious. What's another
I'm
good
actually doing
curiosity?
vegan keto. It's where you just die because you don't eat any food.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You checked all the boxes.
Dude, could you even do vegan keto? I guess you could just eat olive oil.
Mm.
I think that's the only food you can eat is like oils, nuts maybe. But nuts actually have some carbohydrates in them, so they'll kick you out of keto if you eat too many of them. But
It's so dumb.
isn't it so dumb? Uh, no, this diet. I totally get people that make fun of keto too. Like it is the dumbest fucking thing
It's
ever.
it's not. I mean, it is dumb. I think the problem with it is the first people that everybody heard talking about keto were also the worst people.
Right,
It was just like these
right,
like
right.
kind of granola moms who are like, I'm actually on keto now, and I'm gonna go do CrossFit later today because just because I'm a mom doesn't mean I can't stay active. And it's like, please shut the fuck up. Like,
Well, it's also I think that was at the height of like gluten allergies too. Do you remember like everyone used to be allergic to gluten like 3 years ago, and then
yeah,
now like people that have celiac disease are allergic to gluten, but everyone else is just
yeah,
totally cool with it.
yeah. That's like Jackie. She's like, I did a test and I'm sensitive to gluten, but she just still eats gluten because
What
most
does
good
that
things
even
have gluten in.
mean
I don't know if you
though?
know that.
If you're like, what does that mean to be sensitive to?
Just you get the rumblies. Your stomach doesn't feel good after you eat it. I don't know.
That's how
Like,
I feel every single fucking day. Now. No, no, no,
yeah,
no.
I eat stuff all the time, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm allergic to that or something.
Am I sensitive to hot sauce then? Am I sensitive to? Yeah, I'm
No,
sensitive
you're
to Taco
Irish.
Bell.
Yeah, you're
I'm
Irish. Actually, that's what that is.
have you ever done that where you eaten something like really spicy and it tastes really good, but like it hits your stomach and you're like, oh,
Yeah, it feels like
oh,
there's something in there sideways. You're like, why
yeah,
is there? Why do I feel like I swallowed a harpoon? Like,
oh, that's coming. And you can't like leave a social engagement. You can't.
pardon
You can't
me.
be like. You can't be like. I have to go. I can't tell you why, but
Excuse me. Do you have an outhouse?
yeah,
Like I shouldn't do this in someone's home. But
that's one thing I agree with. I think I kind of agree with the outhouse
yeah,
thing now in my older age. I don't like so many bathrooms are like right next to where people hang out, and it's like that is I do not want anyone hearing anything at
yeah,
all. They do not make fans loud enough. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be like an Alexa that you can like tell to play that just plays like classical music on full volume. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. It just every time they feel only one of the two lids go up, it just starts playing "Mbop" by Hanson at full volume. Like, cover me.
Cover me. Uh, no. I think we should wrap up soon. But
Yeah, just let's run through the dinner party super fast, the spread, because
oh
I know
yeah
the people are
yeah yeah
waiting, and then we'll call it.
yeah. So it was pretty good. Um, one thing that worked out. So to start off, I had a pretty nice charcuterie board coming out. So a bunch of different cheeses, some almonds, some dark chocolate covered almonds, which no one ate, which I was like a little surprised by.
So I didn't actually even get any of the charcuterie because I wasn't super hungry and I knew what was coming. So I was like, I'm gonna take a back seat to the charcuterie board. I'm also not huge on a lot of soft cheeses, so I was like,
That's
there was
fine.
hard cheeses, but I'm not like big on most of the soft cheeses. So I was like, I'm gonna take a back seat to this, let the people swarm around it, and then I'm really gonna shine during the following courses, which I think I did. So
I think you did. And then
cleaned
first
every
course,
plate.
which kind of fucked up, was like a ravioli with like walnuts and ricotta cheese and parmesan and like a lemon brown butter sauce.
It was a treat. I liked it.
I thought like it still was like homemade pasta and shit, but all the raviolis ripped, which is
Yeah.
great. Even though I floured the bottom of every plate, they still ripped, which really
I
pissed
think
me off.
compared to the following three courses, I would say that it was the low point, but it was
It
very
probably
good.
was the point.
Yeah,
And then we had seared tuna salad,
which I love.
Asian vinaigrette.
On
So it was like
spinach,
spinach. So it was like lime juice, chili, ginger, sesame oil, and a little soy sauce.
I
Yeah,
did
I thought.
upset. I upset one of the other attendees though because they said I didn't eat all the lettuce, and I said it's actually spinach, and she said you're so funny. And then the rest of the night, Steve Tracy kept going, "You're so funny, Al."
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about a dinner party is like
Me.
I don't know. I feel like I hang out with such different people. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I get that. I get
trying to.
anxious every time I throw a party. I'm like, some of my friends might very much upset my other friends. Like, I'm like, some of my friends think some stuff is funny that other people don't. Like,
This is why we need a monoculture, Al.
yeah,
Right? We need
everybody should be the same. They
everyone
should
should be
be
the same.
just like me and Parker.
Everyone should have the same haircut. I
Hmm.
think. I think that would make things a lot easier. Men and women, same
And any
haircut.
differences we could indicate with like some kind of clothing, like an armband or something. I think would probably like if we all had
Shut
an
the
arm,
fuck
we could
up.
say. I like how this is a podcast where we have video. Like
Yeah,
we can't
exactly.
run away from it. Yeah.
Uh, all right, so I really like that salad dressing too. I'll probably make that
Oh yeah, I
again.
was off the hook. That was a good fucking salad. I wish I had more. I guess I could have
And
taken
honestly,
seen more who
and
did.
it had some chopped peanuts on it too, which I don't
Yeah,
think people got like a ton of chopped peanuts, but just
Parker was
enough for a little,
busting hella nuts for this meal.
baby. But
Big nut guy.
just for a little texture. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
little crunchy, a little soft tuna.
everybody loves the texture of a
Um,
good nut.
and also, I probably wouldn't do the tuna part again. That shit was
Oh,
like ridiculously expensive.
oh yeah,
So
I was gonna. Well, yeah, because it's got to be sushi grade, right? Because you did it rare.
yeah,
Yeah. So.
right, totally. No. Uh, and
Also,
then
side
final
note, I got worms now. That was weird.
make it. That's part of my diet, dude. Is the worms. I mean, for 70 right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Um.
the hack.
The no. Don't some chicks do that? They get like a
I've heard
tapeworm
that.
on
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. Uh. It's like, how about you tape your ass out of my fucking house?
There was a dude I went to middle school with when we were in middle school. He's like, "Yeah, I got a tapeworm. I lost 15 pounds in a week and a half." And I was like, "I kind of want a tapeworm." Like, it was the Ozempic before the Ozempic. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, the OG. And then main course was lasagna, which I think I was very happy with the
oh,
lasagna.
dude, it came so far from the original. Like, originally it was good, but it was maybe the best lasagna I've ever had. It was.
Well, I
I was
appreciate that. Well, it was all
over the
homemade,
moon.
dude.
I was over the
Homemade
moon
bol-
and under the table. Like, smack.
homemade bolognese, homemade fucking bechamel, a bunch of mozzarella and parmesan,
Mozzarella.
I think, and homemade pasta too. So, you know, how could you fuck that one up?
Yeah,
Um,
it was spectacular. Also, what I like about the way that you do these courses is I like that there's not sides. I like that everything is its own thing. Like,
yeah.
which I guess is how like all most restaurants do it. But like, I like having an individual experience with each thing because you don't have to like, you know, you're not bouncing the palate back and forth. It's like you can really immerse yourself in the flavors, and you don't have to worry about conflicting flavors either. You
Well, the
know?
last one I did like risotto and I did a bunch of asparagus, and like that was just so fucking stressful to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it was good though.
Um,
I like the risotto and the duck. I know you stressed about the duck being a little underdone, but I thought it was
a
still
little
tasty.
underdone, but yeah, and then final thing was just them brownies, baby. The Parker family recipe, the
Which
Brown
were
family recipe.
delicious, and I was pissed that I forgot to take some home for
You should
Jackie.
have
I meant
taken
to do
some
that.
home. Yeah.
They're so rich and fudgy. It's a real
They're
treat.
pretty easy to make too.
Mm.
No brownie mix. It's just yeah,
Cocoa powder
pretty
and
easy.
other things.
Well, and it has real like you melt chocolate to put into it, which I thought was
Oh,
pretty fun. That was kind of fun. Um,
was your
but yeah,
dad
that
like?
was.
Was your dad standing over your shoulder like, no, no, whisk
Well,
it?
I thought it was just like secret family recipe, and then I was like, "Dad, can I give the secret?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and he pulls out a cookbook that has the brownie recipe in it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's from
"It's all right."
Pampered Chef book number 3. Like,
Um, I think it's called the Good Eats Cookbook. Pretty good. Eats
yeah.
does not disappoint. Maybe
Well,
that's
hell,
Alton Brown. Maybe I'm thinking. Maybe it's the Blue Plate Cookbook. I think that might be what it actually is.
well, after the spread you presented us, I think you could write your own Good Eats cookbook, Parker Brown. Not to
Wow.
blow too much vape up your ass, but it was pretty fucking good.
There's one thing I can't stand. It's someone blowing vape up my age.
Hell yeah.
Vaping features heavily in the
Yeah. Yeah, that
episode.
came up. It was such a random thing that I remembered from this other person we were talking about's appearance on a different, very popular podcast. But I was like, I remember him talking about vaping like super early, and I was like, I'm going to bring that up. Like, it's super. It's like the only thing I remember from that podcast is him being like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
started vaping in 2007," and you're like, "What? Who did that?" Like, but
All right,
anyway,
Al. Yeah,
we're
I'm about to
wrapping it
fall
up.
asleep.
We've done
So
like 2.5 hours of podcasting tonight. We're
crazy.
dead. You're lucky
We're
you got
done.
this fat of an episode out of us. You're
No,
welcome.
I mean we were on at 8:30, so we've been on for 3 hours now, over almost 3.5 hours. Almost
Jesus.
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Which also comes up in
Yeah,
the. I'm so excited for it. It's been
it's
a
gonna be
night,
good. It's gonna be
but
fun.
anyway, this has been the Drive Time Podcast. I'm Alfred Barnes.
I'm Parker Brown. Peace.
Goodbye.